work with all of the veterans that were out on San Vicente Boulevard. There ended up being an encampment set up known as Veterans Row, where over the course of 2 years, hundreds of veterans came through this encampment trying to get services at the VA. And I worked with many of the veterans that were just named here in this room that have been a tremendous help in getting those veterans off the street. And they're now in the tiny sheds or the tiny homes that are on the property. They're starting to move into permanent housing, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And I think that one thing that we always need to remember is the history of this property. At one time, there was upwards of 5,000 veterans living on that land before Los Angeles was the nation's capital of veteran homelessness. And after the Vietnam War, those veterans were evicted from that property, and illegal leases started coming on that property. The VA started renting out to Brentwood School, UCLA, oil companies, Marriott Laundry Services at one time. A VA contract officer and parking lot operator defrauded $13 million out of one of the parking lots and went to prison for it. So there's a long history of corruption that's gone on in this property. And I think it's also important to mention that the first case, there's been 2 lawsuits. The first lawsuit filed in 2011 was filed under the Obama administration and litigated under the Obama administration, and nothing happened. Under Trump's first administration, the Veterans Row encampment started. Under Biden's administration, a second lawsuit was filed. And that's where we are today, is we've had 2 lawsuits, one that's still going through the Court of Appeals at the moment, a Veterans Row encampment of veterans that serve this country sleeping outside the gates of the VA. And it's taken all of that to get the very little progress we have today. And it's so important that everyone comes together to finally fix and end this once and for all, because it should have never happened to begin with. And we need to get our veterans off the street.